Welcome back, everybody. I'm Sassy Pants, wife to Matty the rancher, and I'll be your storyteller today. Welcome to Adventures with Sodak Pete, stories that celebrate the hard work, the big hearts, and the wide open spaces of ranch life. Out here, every day's an adventure, and we hope each and every one of you watching can imagine yourself as little Sodak Pete, learning the ropes, getting your hands a little dirty, and helping out where it counts. So grab your boots and tip your hats, and let's see what today's adventure has in store. Sodak Pete, blizzard day on the ranch. Pete woke up to the wind howling and the snowflakes as big as baseballs swirling past the window. Millie jumped up beside him, tail a-wagging real fast. I tell you what, there was a real South Dakota blizzard here. They both grinned. Today would be no ordinary day. Pete and Millie almost skipped down to the kitchen, excited to get this day started. I was flipping blueberry pancakes and the smell of bacon filled the warm kitchen. Before you know it, the table was full. Pancakes, crispy bacon, scrambled eggs, and a steamy mug of hot chocolate with melty marshmallows on top. Pete scooted his chair up close. His plate was piled high. His eyes were wide and happy. Millie curled up nearby, nose twitching, hoping for just a taste. Before long, Matty came through the front door, brushing snow off his shoulders. His beard, mustache, and his eyelashes were frosted white, and behind him we could see the snow wasn't letting up. He gave a little sigh and he said, "The cows are fed, and it's still blowing sideways out there." He poured himself a cup of hot coffee and joined us at the table. The fire crackled nearby while we visited, and we all made guesses about how much snow we would have by the end of the day. Pete predicted snowdrifts higher than his head. Matty let out a chuckle and said, "I sure hope not." After breakfast, Pete and Millie set to work building a blanket fort in the living room. They used a patchwork quilt, a flannel sheet, a couple couch cushions, and a few more quilts and a chair or two here to hold it up. And of course, they left a little crack in the blankets for a doorway. Perfect for crawling in and crawling out. It was the best kind of hideout. Pete grabbed his big bin of building blocks, and inside the fort the giggling began. They built a red barn, a bale stack, a little tractor, and even a cow dog that kinda looked like Millie. Every time a piece fell apart, they laughed a little harder, and pretty soon the whole thing fell down. And then they'd build it back stronger. Matty came in for dinner with rosy cheeks and snow on his hat. He peeked into the living room. He said, "Now that's a great fort." Pretty quick, I served up big bowls of warm chili with cornbread and crackers. Pete loaded his bowl with shredded cheese and sour cream and called it perfect. Millie sat close, tail thumping, hoping for a few crumbs to fall to the floor, just for her, and by golly, they did. After they ate, Pete and Millie decided it was time for some music. They dug through our old records and found just the right one. Pete dropped the needle on the record and the music began. Soon they were twirling and galloping and jumping and doing the chicken wiggle right across the living room floor. I loved watching them. They laughed so hard and finally ended up flopped on the floor in giggles. I called from the kitchen, "Who wants to help make cereal bars?" Pete and Millie came a-running, ready to help. We set out the cereal, peanut butter, corn syrup, sugar, and both chocolate and peanut butter chips. Pete melted the corn syrup, sugar, and peanut butter on the stove and stirred it all together with the cereal. Carefully, he squished the mix into a bar pan, and he got quite sticky. We melted the chips into a gooey swirl. Pete spread the warm, chocolatey topping over the bars as smooth as could be. "We better save some of these for Matty." He grinned and he said, "But not all of them." After cleaning up in the kitchen, Pete and Millie dug into the game closet to find just the right puzzle. Not too many pieces, not too small of pieces, and the picture, it had to be good. They finally picked one with a crick winding through some trees. They set up the puzzle by the big window. Puzzle pieces spread out, fire crackling close by. Giggling and playing with those building blocks again. But then they smelled something. Something good. They popped up and came hustling to the kitchen to help me make supper. We rolled out the dough and Pete helped spread sauce edge to edge. We piled on their favorite toppings: hamburger, sausage, pepperoni, and plenty of cheese. Millie supervised, of course. We were making homemade pizza, one of our favorites. When Matty came in for the night, his boots were heavy with snow and his cheeks were pink from the wind. And that pizza was just about ready. The cheese was bubbling, the meat was piled high, and that golden crust, it looked so good. Quickly we sat down on the table and yum, it was good. Outside, the snow still swirled and the wind still blew. Inside, the cabin was warm, the fire was glowing, and the day's adventures filled every room. Instead of cleaning it all up, we all sat down together to relax. Pete and Millie quickly fell asleep by the fire, and Matty and I smiled and gave thanks for this wintry, joy-filled day and for the kind boy and the sweet little dog that we love. Thanks for riding along with us today. Sodak Pete hopes you'll join him on his next adventure.